My days may not seem so long, Lord, how they all drag on. The love and light all seems to drift away.
Chris, with thesightsandsounds.com, we're here with some members of Kids These Days. Do you guys want to introduce yourself, please?
Big Mensa.
Big, there it is.
I'm Macy Stewart.
And I'm JP Floyd.
Right on. These guys have been blowing up the Chicago scene as well as the national scene recently. It's been a huge summer, if not an epic year for you guys. I first saw you down at Reggie's Rock Club for your Hard Times EP pre-release party. It was awesome. And since then, you guys have played South by Southwest. You guys played South by Southwest. You even opened for Snoop Dogg. Considering you guys have only been a band for what, 2 years? Maybe just 2.5 years? I mean, how has this experience been for you guys?
It's been overwhelming for me because I know, like, when we first started the band, it was just about the music. It was just jamming, just something to do right after Merit, you know. And then look at us now. We're at Paul, getting an interview, playing shows, traveling the world, you know what I'm saying, all of that. Well, not the world yet. But
it's a key word to assign.
Iowa, Cleveland, like a man.
But we on the north side. We on the south side.
We're from Iowa, so, you know, make it up for sure, you know? So like you said, you've been now 2.5 years. That makes you guys only 15 and 16 when you guys played, you know, your first show. I know you guys get a lot of questions about your age, but how have you guys kind of used your age as, you know, an influence, or, you know, more kind of, have you used it to your advantage in your music making, maybe in how you guys have come up to play shows?
I guess we got a young perspective, you know, and we recognize that we're always growing, so it's not like, I mean, a lot of older people, I feel like, especially in hip hop right now, kind of stuck in their ways, you know. And I mean, we're always open to change, you know, and fucking just being young right now. There's a lot of shit going on. Always being young. It's like I think my homegirl had told me something that I guess relates to this question a bit a while back. A friend of mine named Aja Monet, she told me, she was like, write as much as you can right now, because you know, this is one of the most fresh perspectives on life you might ever have. You know, it's like you can be a little bit jaded towards things as an 18-year-old, but it's kind of like you're seeing a lot of shit through fresh eyes. So it's you're like really emotionally in the thick of things and shit.
Right on. And you guys want to join in over here? We're just joined by 2 more members of the 7-piece crew.
The nacho eating.
The question was, as you guys walked in, and I know you guys get a lot about your age, but how have you guys kind of used your age to your advantage? I didn't know if you guys want to maybe chime in on that.
I wouldn't say that I don't think we've ever, like, used it, like, exploited it. I don't know if that's a word to use, but it just is, you know what I'm saying? We are who we are. And if that changes any of the situation, I don't know if I've really, I mean, there's been instances where people treat us like we're kids, and then afterwards we play, and it's a different situation, but I don't think we've ever used our age to do anything.
Yeah, I think it's definitely changed some people's maybe views of us, or it's changed maybe some kids' reactions to us, but I don't think it's ever impacted anything that we do, any actions that we make.
Very cool. And I know Kids These Days kind of stems from, you know, the youth and our view of the future. Is that correct? Something along those lines?
I think so, somewhat.
Where did that name kind of spawn from? Oh yeah.
Take it away.
I wasn't really thinking anything when I made the name Kids These Days. It was just a name that I came up with that kind of was based off of some earlier stuff. KTD was a graffiti crew that me and Nico had when we were younger. Kind of stood for some different things, but you know, I thought of Kids These Days as one of the acronyms, and it was just the name that I came up with, and it kind of took on meaning, you know, as we progressed and we really became something, because I don't really think that we had any types of goals really when we made the name.
Yeah.
You know, we were kind of just messing around. We were like, yo, we should make a name for this band. But then as we started moving and our music started to develop and progress, it kind of took on a meaning. It's like, you know, it's proven older generations and people wrong. That, yeah, the youth is on some shit. Like, people act like the youth has forgotten everything of substance. And it's just, you know, turning that on its head.
Very cool. So now you guys have done all this stuff for the last 2.5 years, And from what I hear, you guys are taking a year off school to go and tour nationally, and then finish up your new album that's highly anticipated to come out. Correct? You guys want to?
Anticipated by us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's some fans out there. I imagine. So, what's kind of in the future for you guys? What do you see yourself as a band doing next? The big size kind of.
Hopefully, yeah. We've been lucky enough. We're gonna do a couple dates with a guy Trombone Shorty, who's been another young person really coming up and playing some great music. So we're happy to be playing with him, and then it looks like more towards wintertime, and more towards wintertime. We're gonna be getting into the studio, late fall, winter. Getting into the studio to work on this project called Trap House Rock, which is really an album of things in the same vein as one of our songs, Be the Night Be, Night in Tunisia.
Yep.
If you got a chance to hear that, that's a combination of Common's Be and Dizzy Gillespie, The Night in Tunisia.
It's all good. We'll keep going. And it's actually interesting that you mentioned Trap House Rock, because I was going to ask you perfectly into my next question. What can we expect on the new album? Probably a lot more of the same old, kids these days, the hip hop, jazz, blues influence. Are you guys gonna kind of?
Definitely not a lot more of the same old.
It's
It's a lot of completely different shit from anything that we have released thus far, and I think it touches on a lot more angles of our influence and sound that people don't really know because they don't rehearse with us every day. People don't hear the music and the stuff that we come up with on the daily, and I think this can kind of give people more of a window into more who we are as musicians.
Very cool. And speaking of your influences, listening to your Hard Times EP, you guys touch on soul and funk, hip hop, jazz, blues. You guys kind of have your own genre bending sound. Who are your inspirations? Where do you guys kind of get your big inspirations from? Any old jazz musicians, blues, that kind of thing?
The list goes on and on.
Right.
But I will say that, at least for me personally and for other members of the band, I'll listen to almost any genre of music. I'll be on my iPod listening to Jay Dilla, and then I'll switch over to Ravi Shankar and stuff like that. And I think that sort of mentality certainly spreads out within the band. You guys, we can drop names all day.
All right. List goes on and on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's just go down the line. How about your favorite artist of all time? If that maybe narrows it down.
But
Even artist.
My favorite artist of all time.
Or at least the first one that pops into your head.
There you go.
that's what we can do.
Okay. First one that pops in my head. Jeff.
I said for me, Stevie Wonder.
Sly and the Family Stone.
The first name that came to my head was Wynton Kelly.
I've been thinking Outkast.
Very eclectic, very good. I like all the choices, definitely. Let's see here. So now you guys are starting to kind of get your name out there. A vocal of your music, big fan. I heard was Questlove, obviously from The Roots, and who you guys have been compared to in the past. How awesome is that? That's pretty cool, right?
Pretty awesome.
So, maybe a collaboration. Let's pretty collaboration.
We low key ambushed him, but in a cool way though. It was like in a chill way. We were told through a friend of our managers, a friend of our manager was told by his friend to go get Questlove from the airport for his DJ gig at the Shrine. So that's Ruben. He told Demo, and then Demo told us, and we were like, yo, we're gonna go pick Questlove. We're gonna meet him. So we drove over there, we picked him up. We were actually in the studio at the time, and we had just got a bunch of roughs from Trap House Rock, from some of the first 5 songs. So we had just laid down some rough tracks. So we picked him up, and we popped him in, and we just started playing them for him. And talked to him. He played us some new stuff that he's making with D'Angelo, which was ridiculous. But it was definitely amazing to meet him. He was a real cool, knowledgeable dude. So
Right on. That's very cool. Obviously, Questlove's been one of my favorites, especially The Roots. Maybe we'll get you guys on Jimmy Kimmel Live or something like that, right? Let's see here. So you kind of guys talked about your influences. You talked about what kind of music you had on your iPod, what kind you listened to. Who would you like to collaborate with? I know you guys are a big Chicago music scene. Is there any other? You said Trombone
Shorty.
Trombone Shorty. How about some other collaborations? Anybody you guys see yourself working with? Maybe even on the national scene?
I'd like to work with Andre 3000.
Yeah.
We were just listening to
Yeah,
it.
very good one.
That would be the move.
That'd be fucking
I'd like to
nice.
work with Stevie Wonder.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they can hook up on a track, Stevie Wonder, Andre, and Kids These Days. That'd be a pretty interesting track, I think, personally.
That would be the
That'd be
coolest.
the
If we had like an album of just like Kids These Days was the band, and then every song was just like featuring other people or something, that'd be like
That'd be crazy.
insane.
That'd be pretty cool. I would. So, all this stuff, and you guys have done all these shows now. What has been your favorite experience to date?
For me, the memory that I will always cherish is when we drove to South by Southwest. That was like our first. That was like our
We had-
first.
That doesn't make
In
you
the
a family,
smallest-
nothing. There. You know what I'm
In the
saying?
smallest van, it was like a 15-person van, and we had all of our equipment in one van.
Broke my
All of
fingers and
us
stuff.
in one van, plus like 3 other people for drivers.
The light was
We were in Little
Oh
Trap.
the dumbest pullover of all
Were we in the
time.
little trap?
And they wrote your
Oh, no,
ticket
we
for that?
were-
No,
yeah,
they didn't.
Little Trap.
My dad talked about it. He was one of the drivers,
Little
but
bit,
just-
little bit trap.
he pulled us over and
Right,
like he pulled us over and like shined his
Shine
light
lights
like it was some
going
serious thing, and my dad was like, so what's the problem? He's
Y'all
like,
got weed in
your
here?
license, yeah, and he was like, you know, you guys been smoking weed and all that stuff, and then my dad was like, well, I understand what you pull us over for, and he's like, your license plate light wasn't on, so I was like,
I don't even know how to
And
turn
then he was
the
just
lights
like,
Yeah.
I'll just write
Yeah.
you a, you know, a
I'll write you a
waiver.
warning.
Awesome.
I was like, that's the latest.
Well,
thing in the world.
I only got a couple more questions here for you guys, and this is kind of like the one I like to throw out and kind of throw you off guard. You know what a spirit animal is?
Nope.
Yeah, I do.
It's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
animal you
Like
would pick if you could.
Patronus for
Yeah,
Harry Potter?
you could. I went to Patronus from Harry Potter. It's like the animal you would be if you could kind of like. That's your spirit. That's like what your
That is
spirit
a
is.
Patronus.
So I just want to say,
Patronus.
I'll go down the line and see if you guys can get. What would be your spirit animal?
Don't start with me, I gotta think.
Throw it down back. No.
Same here.
Start in the middle.
Start in the middle. So.
I'm still
She's a cat. Macy would be a cat.
No, I wouldn't
yes,
be
you
a
would
cat.
be a cat. You know you would be a cat.
You always
Look like
being
a
like
cat.
weird angles with your legs.
Alright.
You would be a cat. Macy would
I'm
be
gonna be
a
a
cat.
cat.
I will be a dolphin.
I believe that.
Because
I'm
one,
with
they're
that.
smart as hell,
You can laugh.
and
They get it in.
and two, they're slick as fuck. Am I right?
Like literally.
Yes, literally. And mentally.
I couldn't think of the smoothest animal. Like, but I'm so smooth. I don't know.
You be a jaguar.
I'd probably be. That is a good.
Panther.
A panther.
I'd probably be a platypus because when people like sort of get to know me, they're just like,
Do what you
you're
can to
so
make it as
weird.
soft
What
as possible.
are you? I don't know.
That's what I'm
You're
gonna
like
say.
a weird dude. So I'd probably
I
call
know,
it a
but we
platypus.
can
The
only
platypus is a mammal. It's got a beak and it lays eggs. Like, what are you? Like,
Yeah,
animal right now.
That's pretty deep. I like it though because you know. I like it.
I'm a cheater.
That was pretty much my last question. I just want to appreciate you guys for your time, not mine.
No,
My
thank
time
you,
is
man.
valuable.
Thank you.
All your time is valuable because you guys got a show to go play and a show to go kill, nonetheless.
Thank
But if you guys want to all get in here, look straight that way. If you guys have any shout outs you want to give
What?
or any of that kind of
Shout
stuff,
out you guys.
shout out the sights and sounds.
Sights and
Sounds.
All right, well, right there.
Save Money still alive. Don't
Shout out
forget
to the
that.
sights and them sounds. Kids these days.
Boy.
Save money, save money. Do it for save money.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Hey, yo, let's make a set list.
Hold on. You have to be set list. Cool. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just trying to get like.